The death of 17-year-old Joshua Ejigbo at Abuja-based Catholic University, Veritas University, has continued to generate controversy. Over the weekend, Arise News dug into the circumstances that may have led to his death. But while his parents are crying foul, the university management continues to deny any wrongdoing. We have the mother of the deceased, Ifeoma Ejigbo. Thank you for joining us on Newsnight, and so sorry for your loss. One cannot begin to imagine or put in words the pain that you and the rest of the family is going through over the death of your 17-year-old son, Joshua. Tell us, I mean, where does one even begin this conversation from? You have cause to believe that there's foul play that may have led to the death of your son.
Yes. First of all, the way the university handled the incidents, they were not supposed to take my child out of the premises without our permission. They did that. Then we were not informed until hours after it had happened. Okay. Then, secondly, their version of what happened to him. They said a metal hit his head and he slumped, and his friends that were there tried to resuscitate him. It didn't work. They rushed him to the clinic, and he was declared dead at the clinic. But when we saw his body that night, his head was fine. For someone who had metal hit his head, there was no swelling, there was no bump. But the shock didn't register immediately. It was the next day that everybody was like, but his head was fine. So my husband decided to do an autopsy. Right. Yes, and the resistance from, okay, first of all, the policemen, the police station in Buhari were not aware that a child died in the university. There's a post at the gate of the university. They were not aware that any such thing happened. The divisional police station were also not aware. It was my husband that informed them. There were a lot of questionable things. Right. Then the autopsy comes, we go ahead and carry out the autopsy, and it comes out that he died from the certificate, the cause of death certificate. He died from asphyxia and blunt force trauma. When the policemen went to the university 2 days after the incident to investigate, they were shown an equipment that you expand. There was nothing from the top where any metal could have hit his head. So if he was expanding, where did the blunt force trauma come from? It was from another source. Someone else hit him, or the school are not telling us what really happened. Yes. Well,
you know, this is a difficult one. The PR of the school actually was on a rise, and what he said on the day was the call was put through to your husband.
Sure.
And no one came for ours, and I'm quite sure you watched that. I don't know if you missed that because of your present state, but they had no facility to keep someone who is no more with us, so they had no choice than to take him to the morgue. With that conversation from the school, are you saying that's very line of submission by the school is incorrect?
I am saying it's an excuse. It's an excuse because a child suffers that level of, he dies, a child dies. Okay, you can't get across to my husband. My number is there. Why wasn't I called? My phone was on.
How many hours did it take, sorry to butt in here, how many hours did it take from the time of his death to when you were informed, the parents?
My husband received the call at 11:19. At 11:19 at night.
PM. Okay.
Yeah, PM. And we're not certain when it happened. The VC said it happened between 8 and 9 when he spoke to your correspondent.
Right.
He said it happened between 8 and 9. But we we are led to led to believe that it probably happened earlier. So it took them that long to reach us. My number was there also. If they claim they couldn't get across to my husband, I am his parent. My number is there also. Why wasn't I called?
And this autopsy you spoke about, the result,
yes.
On the day that we spoke with the school, PRO here on the Rise in the same studio, yes. They say they don't have a copy because your husband was speaking about the same autopsy. Is it that the school till this moment has no idea of what happened to one of its students?
I believe so. For them to maintain this stance of saying, I hear he said we are going around peddling a phantom autopsy result. Well, we paid for the autopsy. We refused the school paying because we didn't want any tampering with.
So what do you think in your mind as a mother?
Yes.
And you say you've seen your boy. What do you have in mind? What do you think may have happened? Because if you say you still suspect some kind of foul play.
Oh, I definitely suspect
foul
play.
What do you think?
I think he was attacked. I think he was attacked.
By fellow students, or
I have no idea. I have no idea, but I believe
right.
he was attacked. The force that would break his spine, it can't be from what they are saying. It doesn't add up.
Is that what the autopsy result came up with?
Yes, his neck was broken. Right. He had it, in his spine, the column was injured, and then of course the asphyxia.
His friend, because we're told that he loved, it's hard to talk about him in the past. He loved going to the gym.
Yes.
And there's this friend of his that was always with him when they come to the gym. Has the police spoken with him if he was there on the day? Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing. Besides the police spoke to some boys that were alleged to have been there when it happened, and we are still waiting to hear from the police. It's been 1 month already. We complained about there was a security man that was hounding and harassing him verbally. We haven't heard anything about that, and we had to go to the school, and 11 days after this complaint, we went to talk to the hostel manager and a couple of the students and a couple of other staff members. Nobody has said anything from that angle.
So are you saying the school authorities and maybe students and other people who may have been there, they're not cooperating with the investigation?
They're not cooperating with the investigation.
But is police actively on this case? Are you sure police is investigating? Are they reassuring you that they're investigating and they will unravel, what led to his death?
No, right now they said they say that the file is in the legal department. I don't know what that means. So that means they have done the investigation. I would like to believe that that's what it means. So, and we haven't heard anything up until this moment.
Madam, we'll stay on this, and we commiserate with you. We share in your pain, and we'll see that the little we can do to unearth or to see that there's closure to this as a media organization, we'll do that.
Thank you for
finding the strength to come on Newsnight.
Thank you very much.
Ejigbo.